What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to show you guys exactly how I made 10K in 30 days wholesaling real estate at the age of 21. I did this without cold calling, without spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on ads, and I did it in 30 days. And I'm going to show you exactly how. So to start off, most people think you need to spend hours cold calling to get your first wholesale deal. That's wrong. In this video, I'll show you exactly how I made 10K in 30 days without dialing a single seller, right? And you can do the same exact thing. Guys, a little bit about me. My name's Ari. I wholesale here in Houston, Texas. I've closed deals without ever picking up the phone. I built a system that generates motivated sellers and close deals fast. I'm going to break it down for you guys here step by step. So watch this. And just here's a little proof. This is a HUD statement. I crossed out the tax ID and everything like that for our LLC. But as you can see, we made a $12,000 assignment fee after these fees and other sort of shit. But we made a $12,000 assignment fee. Okay. Step one is you have to build the right list, right? So, okay, building the right seller list. I typically target high equity owners that have had 5 years of ownership and then properties under the value of 300,000. The reason we target high equity is because they're going to have enough equity in that property for you to be able to give them a cash offer. If they're below high equity, they might not even be able to qualify for a cash offer because they have too much of a remaining balance on their mortgage to where it won't work out. 5 years ownership. This is a very important filter and one of my favorite filters. I add this on all the lists I pull. This basically just means the owner has lived in that property for over 5 years or they've had it for over 5 years. That's, a typical time point for them, being motivated. And then properties valued under 300,000. The reason I have this filter is because we don't want expensive properties. We want properties that we can wholesale. Anything really above 300,000 starts heading towards the retail market and cash buyers will not be interested. Now, my opinion on the best government list as well. So code violations is again one of my favorite lists to pull. This is a little bit trickier to pull than just trying to get like a high equity 5+ year ownership type of filter. You can do this on any software really. Um, but you can't really do that for government lists because it's different per county. My favorite is code violations. I like code violations because these sellers typically need to sell. Usually their property is completely in bad shape and they're starting to get taxed and fined by the county or city. If they don't fix it, that number keeps stacking up and they're going to keep having to owe more and more. So let me actually show you guys exactly how to pull a list just like this. Okay, so here we have this completely free website. It's called PropWire. This website lets you pull data for completely free. This is how you can pull lead lists. Now there's some other paid routes, but this is the free version. On PropWire, all you would do is put the zip code of the area you're targeting right here. So for this example, we're going to do 77033 here in Houston, Texas. Under lead type, you don't really need to click anything here at first, and then you just click search. Okay, once you have it loaded up, you'll see it'll give you a lot of results. Here we have around 10,281, so we need to filter this down. Now, I gave you guys a basic set right here with the high equity 5+ year ownership, properties valued under 300,000, but I also have this all in my free Discord under the motivated seller filter. So here is the exact filters, and this is exactly what we're going to copy and paste right now on here, and you can get this for completely free in my free Discord. The link's going to be down below. But basically, we're going to go here, and under lead type, we're actually going to leave this alone if it loads. Okay, so under property type, we're just going to do single family, and look, that already lowered it to 8,000. Now for the price, anything up to 300,000 is what we're going to do, and you can see it's starting to get a little bit lower. Now let's go back to our filter. So single family, 300,000, owned longer than 5 years is the next one. So for that, we're just going to go ahead and go to more, and then we are going to actually check this really quickly. Okay, so owner filter right here. So under owner filters right here, we're going to click that. And it says year of ownership minimum would be 5 years. So we put the minimum year of ownership to 5. Next, it's very important. Owner type is individual. As you can see here, I also have that for you guys here. So you'll never forget. You want to make sure it's individual, non-corporate owned. The reason we're doing this is because we don't want to deal with other investors and wholesalers. So we're just going to target individuals. And that's it for the owner filter. Now under financial filters right here, estimated, we're going to leave this at 300,000 like we set, but estimated equity, we're going to do 30%. Again, this is to where they have enough equity to where we can actually give them a cash offer. And then once again, I have that here in the Discord, over 30% equity, so you guys will never forget. Everything else you're going to want to leave alone. And then for closure filter, you don't touch that. And then MLS filter, on PropWire, you can't really do anything with this besides check like on market and active and stuff, but we wouldn't want any of this, so we're just going to leave it alone. So once you have all the filters, it'll show up right here with all the correct filters, and then you're just going to click save and close. Okay, boom. Now we have a list of 3,656 properties. At first we had 10,000, now we have around 3,500. Now because we put that filter on, these are all going to be really ideal properties to wholesale. If we actually pull one up here, let's go and pull it up on Zillow. So as you can see, like these are going to be ideal type of properties to wholesale. Like look, the property next to it has solar panels. We can check out another one too. Southwell. Okay, look, see, this looks like a really distressed property. Now, step 2 is automated lead outreach. Now, what do I mean by this? Instead of cold calling, I use SMS. The reason I use SMS is because I'm directly getting in front of those homeowners. And for example, you just seen we got a list of 3,000 properties. I would pull that list, have it skip traced, run it through my text blast, and I'm in front of those 3,000 people instantly. I don't have to sit there and dial, cold call, or anything. Leads are going to start responding as soon as I send out my text campaign. And then all it comes down to is filtering and qualifying. Now I have automated this to the point where I don't even do the texting back filtering and qualifying. I have a VA, I pay $5 an hour. He sits there, we send out 5,000 texts, he just qualifies and marks his lead. Look, this is literally a text between me and my VA. He pushed us a great lead the other day. His name was Brian. I blocked out his last name and the property address, but the Zillow estimate of the property was around 200,000 and he was asking for $150,000 cash. Now it was still a bit high for a cash offer, but obviously him marking it as a lead gave me opportunity to just hop on there, give him a call and see what's going on. With text blasting, you literally only deal with sellers that actually want to talk. Now, step 3 is actually qualifying and locking up the deal. This will consist of handling the first seller call, the first time you actually hop on the call with the lead, estimating the ARV, repair cost estimate, and max allowable offer formula. This is how you'll find out exactly how much to give him a cash offer, leaving you enough room to make an assignment fee. All right, so now that a seller actually responded to your text blast, this is where most wholesalers mess up. They either don't qualify the seller properly or they throw out a random lowball number instead. I'm going to show you how I qualify my leads and get the property locked up at a price that leaves room for an assignment fee. When I first get on the phone, I'm not trying to convince them of anything. I'm simply asking questions to find out if the deal even makes sense. Now, I see a lot of people messing up as soon as they get on that first call with the seller, they're trying to close the deal. That's not how this works. Here's a basic rundown of my qualification script. So I ask about the condition. I ask them if they can tell me a little bit more about the property, when the last time it was they updated the roof, the kitchen, the bathroom, the HVAC. This is all info we're going to need to be able to plug into our max allowable offer calculation to see how much we can actually give them for an offer. Then I usually try to get the timeline. I don't just straight up ask them, when are you looking to sell? If you ask them like that, they'll be like, oh, well, I'm not even looking to sell, or some dumb random crap. So you sort of got to ease them out with the answer. So I tell them something like, if we came to an agreement, how soon would you be looking to sell? If we came to an agreement, how soon do you think we want to move forward on this? And then I try to get the motivation out of them. Again, don't just ask them, hey, what's your motivation for selling? No, they won't tell you. You have to get the answer out of them. So you'd be like, what's gotten you thinking about possibly selling it? Is there a specific reason you'd be looking to sell it right now? Why not just keep it? Stuff like that. And then I always try to get the price out of them because this is one of the bigger qualifying questions. If you get the price out of them and you see they're looking to get some crazy above market value price, right? It's not a deal. So I usually ask them, do you have a number in mind you would like to walk away with for this property? The lower the number, the better. Again, if I get some solid answers on this, then I know this is a deal worthy lead. If they're vague and they're asking for crazy prices, I throw them into a follow up and then I'll check up with them here and there, depending on their motivation and timeline to sell. But I don't really waste my energy and time with that. Again, I literally have my exact cold call script for these sellers. It's not really a cold call. You only call them once you know it's a lead. This is more of just the qualifying questions and how to respond to those questions. But I have it in my free Discord. Again, the link's below. All you got to do is join and you'll get all my contracts, scripts, everything I use. Okay, it's very important. Once I find out that they're actually a motivated seller, I do quick math on the deal, and I'm gonna show you guys the exact formula I use and a quick way to do this, so watch this. So the max allowable offer formula, also known as MOA formula, is we take the average repair value of that property, we times it by 70%, that's gonna give us the wholesale price for that property. Then we subtract the repairs. That's why it's very important to ask them in the qualifying questions about the condition of the property. So here's an example of max allowable offer. So the ARV of a property, when it's fully renovated, it's selling and sold for on market for around 170,000. Say the property needs around $50,000 in repairs, so we subtract that. So what we do is 170 times the 0.70%. That's going to give us wholesale price for that property. That's typically going to be around what wholesalers would pay for a fully renovated version of that house. But we need to keep in mind the repairs. So we get that number and then we do the 119 minus 50,000 for repairs, which gives us a max allowable offer of 69,000. This means the most I can pay for that property is 69,000. But the trick is to locking it up under that number. So usually what I do is I would take the 69,000 and subtract another $5,000 to $10,000 for my assignment fee and then another $5,000 to $10,000 for title and closing. So 69,000 minus 20,000 including my assignment fee and title and closing would give us around 49,000. I would give them an offer starting for 40,000 as a really good low ball to see what they're thinking, and then we can go up from there. But the max number I wouldn't want to get past when I'm giving them my offer is 49,000 because that's including closing and title and that's including my assignment fee. If it goes above that, I won't really be making money, so it's not worth it. Now, when it comes to actually making the offer and locking it up, once I know my number, I never just throw it out. So I wouldn't just start off at that 49,000, right? Instead, I anchor them. That's why I told you guys, give them that low ball, give yourself room to work with. For example, if my max allowable offer is 69,000 minus my assignment fee of 10,000, closing and title being 10,000, which would be really 49,000, I would tell them that similar properties in the area are selling for around 50 to the $60,000 range. And then I ask them, where are you hoping to be at to see, what type of feedback they give on that. If they say, if it's a little bit close to my number, around 60 to 80,000, I'm in business. That's when you start negotiating. That's when you start reassuring them on the fact that you handle all, it's a stress-free process. You're purchasing cash. They don't have to worry about agents or realtor fees or showings or anything like that. Once they agree, I give them a simple one-page purchase sell agreement with the listed price. We sign and it's done. It's not that complicated and you shouldn't make it that complicated. Once again, y'all, I have my exact contract here in my free Discord. You can get it. The link will be down below. Come join. You get all my contract scripts, everything. Now, I'm also about to show you guys a quick route on how to actually give cash offers and how to run this whole formula and math process in like 30 seconds. So watch this. Now, this only works if you're in my free Discord because of this prompt I made, but basically you're just going to copy this prompt right? I'm gonna go ahead and copy this prompt, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to find your max allowable offer, how much you're going to make an assignment fee, and all that in like 30 seconds. So watch this. Then you just go to ChatGPT and paste the prompt. So we're just going to go ahead and paste the prompt. And for example, we're going to do this property here that we just pulled off PropWire using our motivated seller filter. It's going to be this one. So next, we're just going to copy the address of this property. Okay, once you put the prompt in ChatGPT, it completely understands it. Cool. So now we're just going to go ahead and paste the property address. ChatGPT is going to take a second to completely digest the info, and just like that, it ran full comps on the property. It's giving us our ARV, it's giving us our estimated repair cost, but it's better to get this information yourself. And then it's going to run that formula, which is ARV times 70% minus repairs. This prompt actually is going to include your assignment fee, title, and closing, everything into it. So for this property here on Southwell, which on Zillow it's around 220,000, it is off market. It's saying that the ARV would be around 220,000, the repair would be around 30,000, max allowable offer would be around 124,000, minus the $10,000 we'd be making on the assignment fee. We should offer around 114,000. We should assign it to an end buyer for 124,000, leaving us with an assignment fee of 10,000. Literally in 20 seconds, we got our cash offer for this property. I would call them up, offer them around 100,000, gives me room to 114,000, get them locked up, assign the deal for 124,000, and make $10,000. Again, if you want this insane prompt, it's free in my free Discord. The link will be down below in the description. Come join. You get my prompts, my scripts, my contracts, everything. Now, say we locked it up at a good price. Where do we find buyers? So I have 3 strategies that I love personally for finding buyers and making a buyers list. One is calling up title companies. You call them up and you ask them who bought over 3 properties in the last month in cash. Typically they'll tell you, and they'll tell you because if you connect with them and you have a deal, they're going to end up making money on it too. Second is pulling a cash buyer list using software just like PropWire. My third favorite method, this works really well for land, is on Zillow. You look for new renovated properties or new constructions. You contact the agent. You get them to connect you with the cash buyer. I'm going to show you guys really quickly and the filters I use to pull cash buyer lists from softwares like Deal Machine, PropStream, PropWire, etc. So once again, we go here to PropWire, completely free. We put in the same zip code, and then this time under lead types, we're just going to find cash buyer. So it should be here somewhere, and we are going to find it. Here we go. We found the cash buyer filter. So now we select that for this zip code. Once we click search, it's going to give us a list of all the active cash buyers in that zip code. So it gave us a list of 130, or it gave us a list of 116,000, but we're going to have to filter that out for cash buyers buying single family houses because our property here is a single family house. So now it gave us a list of 1,300. I would just call up these leads and see if any of them would be interested in the property we have under contract. Now, when I'm talking to these buyers, I ask them 3 simple questions. I don't overcomplicate it, and I'm about to tell you guys the exact questions you need to be asking these buyers. First, you straight up ask them what type of properties are they looking for. Some buyers are looking for land, some are looking for single family, some are looking for multifamily, some are looking for commercial. So it's very important you figure out what type of property the cash buyer is looking for. Then you ask them what zip codes they're actually buying in and what's the price range they're buying at. The third most important question you can ask them is how fast they can close. You don't want a cash buyer that's going to take a long time. You're trying to get a cash buyer that can close deals quickly and get this shit done quickly. You get their criteria, you get their info, and then you save them in your CRM so you can start blasting out your deals to them as soon as you get it locked up. So now the best part of this is actually disposing the deal and collecting your fee. Once you get your cash buyers, you have them in the CRM. Again, we text blast, so we would send them out an exact text, something like this. Hey, I've got a 3-bed, 2-bath in their zip code at 75,000, needs around 50,000 in repairs. ARVs around 170,000. First buyers to sign wins. Either buyers will fight over it or pass. You will get some feedback. If they're not interested, they'll tell you if the price is too high or what's going on. But once a buyer says yes, you get them to sign the assignment of contract, send it to title with the purchase sale agreement, and then you get wired your assignment fee. And that's exactly how you make $10,000 in the next 30 days wholesaling real estate without cold calling. And again, as you can see, we made around $12,000 here on this deal. Again, guys, if you guys want all my scripts, my contracts, that prompt I just showed you guys, I have a bunch of more stuff in there. It's all in the free Discord. The link will be in the description. And if you are actually interested in me setting up my exact text blast software, the same system that I use to close 2 to 3 deals a month consistently without spending thousands of dollars on ads, without cold calling. Once you join the Discord, just give me a DM and I'll get you set up. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you can leave a like and subscribe, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Also, comment down below what type of video you'll want to see next.